What are some of your scariest and disturbing stories? Let me explain something first. My sister died 3 years ago. It was a car accident. Sudden, brutal, no goodbyes. 1 minute we were arguing over cereal at breakfast, and by dinner, she was gone. 17 years old. Her bedroom is still upstairs, untouched, just how she left it. My mom couldn't bring herself to pack anything up. Eventually, she locked the door, put the key in a box, and shoved it in the attic. None of us have been in her room since the funeral. We don't even go upstairs much. My parents moved their bedroom to the main floor, and I mostly hang out in the basement. We pretend like the second floor doesn't exist. I used to hate that. It felt like we were avoiding her, like she'd become a ghost before she even had a chance to haunt us. But now I'm starting to think she actually might have. This started 2 weeks ago. I came home from work late. It was raining, dark, just gross outside. I dumped my stuff by the stairs and headed to the basement. As I passed the staircase leading up, I swore I heard a creak from upstairs. I froze, listened. Another creak, like weight shifting on old wooden floorboards. I stared up the stairs for a full minute, heart racing. Then, I laughed at myself. The house settles. It's old. Wood moves. You know how it is. I went downstairs and didn't think much of it, until it kept happening. Every night. Always around 11:30 p.m. Always just as I'm about to go to sleep. Creaks upstairs. Soft footsteps. Once I even heard the sound of something rolling, like her old desk chair. Then came the real kicker. 3 nights ago, I heard her voice. I was half asleep when I heard it. Faint, muffled, but so familiar it snapped me fully awake. I sat up, held my breath. She said my name, just once, like a question. Liam? My name isn't super common, and the voice wasn't some random noise. It was her, like, perfectly her. The tone, the softness, the way she used to say it when she was annoyed but too tired to argue. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I went upstairs for the first time in years. The hallway felt wrong, cold in a way that wasn't temperature, still in a way that wasn't silence. And at the end of it, her door, locked, like always. But something new was different. There were scratches on the wood, around the doorknob, thin, deep ones, as if someone had been clawing at it from the inside. I asked my mom about it. She got really pale and whispered, "Don't talk about that room." That's all she'd say. So last night I did something stupid. I went into the attic and found the box. The key was still there. My hands were shaking as I took it downstairs. I stood outside her door for 10 minutes before I could even make myself breathe normally. At exactly 11:30 p.m., I heard it again. My name. Liam. But this time the voice wasn't muffled. It was right behind the door. I panicked, dropped the key, backed down the hallway and nearly fell down the stairs. The voice didn't follow. Today, I checked the hallway again. Just one new thing had changed. There's a note under the door, folded, plain white paper. It just says, "It's not me." And now, I don't know what's behind that door anymore, but it's not my sister. A few years ago, I was walking through the woods off the beaten track a bit, and I smelt this really overpowering sweet smell. Being nosy, I pulled back the undergrowth to have a look and found a dead body. The guy had clearly been there a while and wasn't looking great, all swollen and green and black with various runny bits. The local wildlife had also been dining well for a few days. I called the police, who told me to wait with the body until they arrived. Being in the middle of nowhere, it took a while for them to arrive, and it got dark, and I was just sat there in the dark with him for a long time. It turned out he had committed suicide. For a long time afterwards, I had dreams about him, and he would talk to me and not nice things. Mainly about how he was angry I had disturbed his resting place and he wanted me to kill myself. Probably just my imagination, but all pretty disturbing at the time. He still turns up in my dreams from time to time, and no doubt will be tonight after typing this.
I don't expect this to stay up long. Mods might delete it, or maybe it will. Either way, I need to get this out. Before I forget what's real. I go to a mid-sized state university. Typical dorm life, cold pizza, loud neighbors, the occasional roach. You know the deal. But this year, something was Off. It started in early September. My dorm started smelling like something died in it. Not like garbage or BO like wet meat. Like someone puked blood onto raw pork and left it under a heat lamp for a week. The smell came from the vents. We figured maybe a rat got in and died. Happens. One guy sprayed deodorant into the ducts. Made it worse. The room now smelled like cancer and pork rot. Then came the noises. No scratching. No footsteps. It sounded like peeling. Like something was slowly tearing skin off muscle. Then chewing. And sometimes breathing. Too fast. One night I swear I heard a scream echo through the vent. Not a person. Not even human. It sounded like something giving birth to itself. And then something answered. Josh was the first to go. I came back from class and found his mattress split in half. Not cut. Torn. Like something had burst out of it. Blood was soaked through the floor. His bedsheets were in the corner, crusted over and stuck to the wall like dried spit. There was a trail of blackish mucus going from the bed straight up into the ceiling vent. They said he probably overdosed and ran off in a panic. But he didn't run. I don't think he ever left the room. Next was Maddie from down the hall. Her roommate said Maddie was talking in her sleep. Words she didn't recognize. Clicking noises with her tongue. Heavy breathing like she'd run a marathon. The next morning, Maddie was gone. Room untouched. No struggle. No note. Her pillow had bite marks. Like someone had tried to scream into it. Or maybe someone else pushed her face into it and bit down. By this point, people were freaking out. But campus security? Clueless. They said people were just going missing because of stress. Sure. Let me know when stressed ears open your mattress and smears your guts into the ceiling. Then came my night. I was lying in bed, couldn't sleep. I had my earbuds in when I felt something breathing above me. I froze. Pulled the buds out. And heard this slurping sound. Wet. Fast. Like something licking plastic. I looked up, and the vent above my bed was open. And I saw a hand. Long fingers. Too long. Each one bent the wrong way. The nails weren't claws, they were flat, like teeth. Then a face slid down. No eyes. Just slick, fleshy skin. A line down the middle that started twitching open. Its mouth didn't open sideways, it split vertically, like an old fruit peeling itself in half. It screamed. Not at me. Just screamed. Then it slid back into the vent. Like it was laughing. I moved out the next morning. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. What it was. Where it lived. So I stayed on campus and did something dumb. I bought a headlamp. Gloves. Strapped a GoPro to my chest and climbed into the vent system at 2 a.m. You know how vents in dorms aren't supposed to be big enough to crawl through? That's true, until you get deeper in. There's a space behind the east wall. No blueprints show it. It's not man-made. It's organic. The walls are pink and gray. Veiny. Breathing. And in the middle? The thing. Hanging from the ceiling like an inside-out corpse. It didn't have legs. Just a sack of twitching limbs and half-made faces melting into each other. Josh's face was fused to its ribs. Maddie's torso was halfway buried in its stomach. They blinked. They were still alive. Or maybe just copied. The creature was building people. Not digesting them. Absorbing them. Making a whole new person from parts of the old ones. My GoPro died. My heart did too. For 6 seconds, according to the hospital. I woke up on the lawn. Barefoot. Vomiting blood. No memory of how I got out. They bulldozed the dorm 2 weeks later. Called it asbestos remediation. But someone I knew in maintenance said they found teeth in the vents. Growing inward. In rows. Like they were waiting to bite back. I don't live in buildings with vents anymore. No central air. No ducts. Only windows. But sometimes, when the room is quiet and the lights are off, I hear it breathing behind the drywall. Still building. Still watching. Still screaming.
I moved into the house on Hollow Pines Road because it was cheap. Disgustingly cheap. The kind of cheap that makes your stomach twist, like you're signing something you shouldn't. But I was broke and desperate, and when I walked in the first time, I don't know. Something felt familiar, like I'd been there before, in a dream I didn't remember having. The first night was uneventful. Cold, though. The kind of cold that settles in your bones no matter how many blankets you throw on. The heater made these long, wheezing groans like something trapped was trying to breathe through the walls. I kept hearing footsteps, too. Slow ones, across the ceiling. But it's an old house, right? Wood contracts, pipes settle. That's what I told myself. By the third night, I noticed the mirror. It was hanging in the hallway, between two closed doors I hadn't opened yet. I swear it hadn't been there before. It looked ancient, tall, with a blackened silver frame etched in curling patterns, like thorns or claws. The glass was warped, uneven like old water. I leaned in and something was off. My reflection didn't move quite right. It blinked a second late. It tilted its head a little too far. It looked like me, but not me, like someone wearing my skin. I turned the mirror around to face the wall. The next morning, it was facing me again. By the fifth night, I stopped pretending things were normal. I started hearing whispering just as I was about to fall asleep. Wet, breathy murmurs right up against my ear. The kind of sound that makes your skin crawl before your brain registers it. I started locking my bedroom door. I even wedged a chair under the handle. Didn't help. At 3:12 a.m., I woke up, parched, my tongue sticking to the roof of my mouth like paper. I sat up and stared at the door. Still locked, still shut. I told myself it was safe. Just get some water, go back to bed. I crept down the hall, past the mirror. It was glowing. Pale white light, like moonlight through dirty water. I should have kept walking. I know that now. But I turned to look, and something was in the mirror. Not a reflection, not mine. Something tall, wrong, stretched in places where it shouldn't be. It had no eyes, just two sunken black holes that looked at me anyway. It didn't move, but I could feel it, watching. I turned and ran, locked my door, hid under the blankets like a damn child. But when I woke up, there was a handprint on the inside of the mirror, and it wasn't mine.